2005 Honda Odyssey door lock actuator doesn't work with the remote, so when you click the switch it doesn't open up and down. So we're gonna take the door apart here and change out the door lock actuator. I'm Brian Eslick from How To Automotive. I'm gonna walk you through that process. Okay, to get started we're gonna remove the door panel, and I'm gonna start by flipping the handle back and putting a little screwdriver here and prying this little plastic cover off, and behind it's going to be a couple screws, Phillips screws. Here's what the cover looks like, and then there are the two screws I was telling you about. So go ahead and remove those. Okay, now what we're going to do is pop this control panel up. So I got a little screwdriver and pocket screwdriver and put it in the corner over here and popped it up a little bit, and I was able to pop it up. Now you can just work the whole thing up and free like that. You can go ahead and unplug these by pushing these squeeze tabs right there. Push that in and pull it out, and unplug the master switch here and set that aside for right now. So now what we need to do is get to this Phillips screw that's here. Remove that one, and then underneath there's one more Phillips screw here. We need to remove those two Phillips screws. I also wanted to mention to have your window rolled up when you do this job. Okay, now after getting those screws out, we need to remove this panel here, and you can stick a screwdriver in here and pop it free, and then pull it and then lift upwards. Okay, after getting that panel off, now we're going to take a panel popper tool or a flat blade screwdriver and put it on the bottom of the door, slide it underneath, and then pop the door out. Let's see if I can do it here on camera with one hand here. So once you get the door popped out like that, then you're going to do is grab the door panel with one hand on the right and one hand on the left, and kind of lift and kind of rock the panel off. You can also, before you do that, actually unscrew the lock tab and take that off. We need to unhook the door latch, and right here is the little thumb tab, and you'll push it down, rotate it out of the way, pull that out, and then I'll have a second thumb tab right there. You'll flip that out and pull the cable out, and then you'll unhook the one green electrical connector here, unplug that, and then the whole door panel will come off. So now that we got the door panel off, we need to pry back this moisture barrier, and it's just held on with this black rubber tar stuff. Just kind of peel it back out of your way. So now we need to remove the screw here that holds the lock on. So go ahead and remove that Phillips screwdriver screw there. Okay, on the side of the door here, just below the latch, there's a 10mm bolt. You're going to take that out, and what that does is, if you look in the inside, the window track right here, that 10mm bolt holds that on. So you'll take that out and you'll pull down and pull the whole track out. It'll come out. So this is what that piece would look like. You just set that aside for now. Now what we're going to do is, if you look through, this latch goes to the handle, and it has the same style of clip. Let's see if I can further in. It's hard to see, but it's a skinnier rod, and it has a yellow clip on it, and you're going to pop that off too. So you're going to flip it out, pull it off, and once you get that unhooked, now you're going to do is take this little wire loom here and squeeze it, push it through, and unattach it from the door. Now on the side of the door, you want to remove the 3 Phillips screws. So now you can get the whole, you can pull the latch out, and this here with the electrical connectors is the door lock actuator, and that's what we're going to change. So what I like to do is try to leave everything hooked up, so I'm going to not take off any more cables or any more work than I have to. So I'm going to unplug the electrical connectors, and I'll flip it over. Okay. Oh, after I unplug the electrical connectors, I'll take this Phillips screw out right here, and then this whole this metal bracket will come off, and then you'll be able to slide the old actuator off. So after removing that screw, you'll also have to put a flat blade screwdriver right underneath here and pry that out. And then what you do, the whole thing will pop out like that. Sorry, you have to put a flat blade screwdriver underneath these little tabs right here. There's one here and one on the opposite side here, and open these little tabs up and then pull it straight off. So after lifting the old one off, you just take the new one and basically line up the slots where they went and push it back on into the old place. And then now we're gonna put this cover back on. Okay, to put this plate back on to the regulator right here, what you got to do is hold the, kind of like I'm holding it right here. So to get that cover back on, what we need to do is we need to lift that little lever up a little bit, and the way I'm doing that is by pushing down with my thumb right here a little bit. So all we need to do is lift it up a little bit, and this little ear that's right here is going to slide underneath it when you put it back together. So once you get it tucked underneath right there, and then you get it, there's got this little ears where it's going to mount in there, and there's another one over here. You know, get those in, and then you snap it in where these lock back into place, and put your screw. And what you want to do is you want to take the one with the purple handle here. It's your inner door handle latch. You want to operate that and make sure that that lever, as you pull this lever here, you're going to make sure it lifts, that lifts up on that one that we were lifting up with the we were pushing it down with our thumb on this one. So we want to make sure that all works, and everything works. So everything's free and working with both levers. Then it's ready to put back into the door. So now I'm gonna go ahead and plug my electrical connectors back in, and I'm gonna tuck this back in the door, making sure that this cable routes through the backside, through this hole here. And then if you want to, you can go ahead and put the screw in there, and that kind of holds it semi in place so it doesn't fall on you while you install all the other linkage. So once you get it in there, go ahead and just start your cable, the linkage, and snap the little lock tabs back into place on them, and do the key. This one's for the key, this one's for the door, the outer door handle, and then the cable here on the outside is for the lock, and then this one here is for the inner door handle. So after you got all those rerouted and locked back into place, and you got your wire loom back in, and it rebolted to the side of the door, what you could do now is you could take your keys out of the car. Obviously, what I like to do is roll down one of the other windows just in case you have any problems, and go ahead and close the door and operate it, and check your work. And if everything's working fine, so go ahead and pull your cable here and make sure the door opens, lock and unlock the door manually here. Do it with the key, check it with the key, and make sure everything works. Everything works perfectly. Then you can proceed to put your window track on, and then put your door panel back on. What you want to also check for is make sure that none of the linkages is binding on any of the wiring, and check your routing on how you routed it, so nothing will get in the way. So when you go to test it with the key, you also have to plug in the master switch. Just plug it back in. The wiring goes through the switch, so it wouldn't work. I tried it and it wouldn't work without the switch plugged in. So once you plugged it in, like I said, you're gonna lock, check it works, unlock, check it. So far that's good. And then what you want to do is you want to check because you mess with everything, all the linkage. So you want to put your key in and check it. And I don't have the right key for this car. Actually, it looks like somebody's damaged it. So then you also want to get in the car and make sure that when you pull the door handle here, that it unlatches the door. So after checking and make sure everything works, it's time to reinstall the window track. So this basically just goes in the door, and right in front of the handle. Let's see if I can get this on. Right in front of the handle is the window track. So you're just going to slide it back into its little groove, and once you get it, it'll just slide in. just like that. And then you, on this side, you just line up the bolt hole, start your bolt. Now after getting your window track in, now you just want to give your window regulator a quick little test up and down, make sure everything works. If everything's fine, now you can proceed to put the weather stripping back on. And sometimes it will stick back on, and sometimes it will not. You may have to get some more like 3M weather stripping adhesive or something like that and glue it back on, and then we'll put the door panel back. Okay, so go ahead and take your electrical switch back off, and we're going to go ahead and put the door panel back on. And what we're going to do is we're going to plug in our electrical connector here first, right here first, and then we're going to reattach the cable that went to the door latch. So the cable goes in the latch like so. Flip this out of the way, hold on. Flipped on me. So it flips on, and then the little lock tab will lock it on. And then what we do is we put the cable in the little, snap that in, and then flip that lock tab up, and that locks it on. Now we're going to lift the door panel up and put this through the hole and slide, and we're going to tuck the edge of this door panel is going to go behind the groove on the door here. So now the door panel is pretty much hung on the door. We're going to pry it back a little bit and pull our electrical connectors through like so. And once that's done, then what we're going to do is we're going to go in behind and look behind and kind of line up our clips that go behind. Make sure they're lined up, and when they are lined up, then you would just pop the door panel on like that. Then you can go ahead and put the screw here in and the screw here back in, and these two screws back in. Now that you got all those screws on, you can take your lock tab and kind of fish it through the door and find the little tab that it goes on, and screw it on, and then give it a pull, make sure it's not binding in any way. And then you can put the little cover that went on here, and then you can plug your electrical connectors in here. Once the electrical connection is plugged in, you just route it back in the way it goes and just push it down until it locks into place like that. That completes that. Now we want to take this one last panel here, and you slip it in behind, and you hook that little tab in and push it in, and that's it. And that pretty much completes the door lock actuator replacement on a 2006 Honda Odyssey. I'm Eslick from How To Automotive, and I'd like to thank you guys for watching my videos and remind you to subscribe. Thank you again.